Can Chelsea do the unthinkable? Can Chelsea go all the way to Istanbul and win the Champions League for the second time in the club's history? I'll be delving into all of my thoughts and opinions. Of course, we know the draw has been revealed yesterday. I made a live stream, my live reaction to the draw. And everyone can be happy. If I'm doing well, you're doing well. We drew Porto, the easiest team that we could potentially have got. And listen, I'm not underestimating them. I'm not saying we need to be complacent, because they could easily knock us out if we are too complacent and if we are not careful. But out of all the teams we possibly could have got, that was by far the easiest draw. And not only that, the semi-final draw, the fact that we're playing Porto away from home first, the fact that we're playing the semi-final leg away from home first, which gives us a slight advantage. It couldn't have gone any better. That was the best possible draw for Chelsea. And in this video, I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions. I'll be answering that question: can Chelsea genuinely go all the way? Are Chelsea dark horses to win the Champions League? I'll also be previewing the Chelsea versus Sheffield United FA Cup quarter-final game, which will be taking place tomorrow, 1:30 PM kickoff at Stamford Bridge, where we have a fantastic opportunity to progress into semi-finals, and it's one of the most realistic trophies that Thomas Tuchel can first win at Chelsea this season. Of course, we want to end the season with some silverware, and the FA Cup is the perfect opportunity for that. But before I do get into all of that, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Let's answer the main question. The question is lingering on our lips: can Chelsea genuinely go all the way? If you asked me when Lampard was here, I would have laughed in your face. I said, well, what kind of a stupid question is that? Especially when we drew Atletico Madrid at the time. When Lampard was here, we were losing games left, right, centre. The performances were diabolical. The defence was shipping goals week in, week out. We're talking about 2 or 3 goals per week. But ever since Thomas Tuchel's come in, he's brought this breath of fresh air. But not only that, the tactics he's implemented, the change of structure, the patterns of play, and he's rejuvenated the squad. And that's all we've asked for. We've barely conceded any goals. 2 goals conceded in 13 games in all competitions. 1 only being for an opposition player. We're just not conceding. I know we're not scoring a lot of goals, but we're not conceding. And as Sir Alex Ferguson once said, defence wins you titles, attacks wins you games. And you need a solid defence to build that foundation on. And if you're going to win the Champions League, your defence has to be up to scratch. And listen, so far with the structure that's in place and the performances by the likes of your Rudigers, your Christensens, the structure's there, the foundation's there, and the defence that we have, we can go all the way. Now, again, before the quarter-final draw took place, it would have been really difficult for me to sit here and say, Chelsea, yes, we can definitely win the Champions League. But after the draw, it gives you that new sense of hope, that new sense of optimism, because the 3 favourites, in my personal opinion, being Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City, they're all on the other side to us. So we're not going to face any of them until the final. PSG and Bayern are playing in the quarter, so one of those big boys are going to get knocked out. So we're not going to face any of them if we do, of course, progress against Porto. And we ain't going to play Bayern, Man City or PSG in the semis. We're going to play the winners of Real Madrid and Liverpool if we beat Porto. So Bayern beat PSG, PSG are out. Bayern progress into the semis. Let's say hypothetically Man City beat Dortmund, so it's a Man City Bayern semi-final. Again, one of those big boys are going to get knocked out. Let's say Man City get knocked out. And let's say hypothetically Chelsea make the final and go to the road to Istanbul, which hopefully, fingers crossed, we do. Time to start booking those tickets to Turkey. And then you have a Bayern Chelsea final. Yes, we're playing one of the best teams in Europe, but you only play one of those 3. And that's what we asked for. That's what we were praying for, and our prayers have been answered. So thank you. It's honestly a case of, for me, it was all dependent on the draw. If we got a lucky draw, I would say yes, it's possible. Because if you're playing a 2-legged game against a Man City, Bayern or PSG, I don't think our squad is quite there yet. I think we do have one of the best squads in Europe, but we haven't had much time on the Tuchel, and I think those squads are slightly more stronger compared to Chelsea, so you're asking a bit too much. But in a one-off game in a final, anything's possible. Anything's possible. We can beat any team on our day. So it's a case of, in a one-off final, you can beat them, but over 2 legs, you're asking a little bit too much. But we did a fantastic job dispatching Atletico Madrid. Not just dispatching them, we completely dominated them over 2 legs, winning 3-0 on aggregate. And getting into the other quarter-final draws, we'll look at Man City and Dortmund. For me, I think the majority of us will agree, or most of us will agree, that Man City should cruise through this against Dortmund. Obviously, of course, not underestimate Dortmund. You can't underestimate a single team in the quarterfinals of the most elite European competition. But apart from their attack of your Haalands, your Sanchos, your Guerreros, your Gio Reynas, Torgan Hazard, Jude Bellingham, they've got a really fantastic midfield and attack. But Their defence is diabolical. They ship goals left, right and centre. They're doing extremely poorly in the Bundesliga this season. It's looking highly unlikely they're going to even qualify for the Champions League this season. So it really puts into perspective how poor Borussia Dortmund have been. Their structure's in place. They're scoring goals. They've won 24 out of their last 25 games in all competitions. Man City are on fire. Completely on fire. So it's a case of Man City should easily cruise into the semis. You look at PSG Bayern, that is the tie of the rounds. I think Bayern will qualify against PSG, although this will be a very tight affair. I think PSG have got a fantastic chance with their attack. You likes of Neymar's, your Mbappe's, your Verratti's. They've got a sack squad and they've got a world-class squad. But Bayern, they've got the experience. They're European champions. They're holders of the tournament. They've got the pedigree. They've got the manager. They've got the players. I think that Bayern have got the best squad in Europe. So I think that, you know, Leroy Sané in form, they're top of the Bundesliga, cruising in the Bundesliga. PSG have had a mixed bag. They had a bit of an inconsistent season. Yes, they dispatched Barcelona 4 on the Nou Camp, but they've had a bit of a dodgy period after that. So I think that Bayern will edge that. So I think Bayern and City will be that semi-finals. I think Chelsea will progress against Porto. I'll go into more detail when the preview comes. And then you look at the final quarter-final tie between Liverpool and Real Madrid. Now, this is a very tight one because both of them, neither fear each other, but both of them respect each other, if that makes sense. Real Madrid, you have to respect it, the history, the pedigree. They're so dominant in this competition, winning it back to back 3 times in a row. They are by far the biggest club in Europe, hands down. They are the biggest club in the world, the biggest franchise, biggest fan base, trophy cabinet-wise. They are the kings and giants of Europe. However, they've been extremely poor this season. Eden Hazard injured. He could potentially be back for the semis, but he won't be back for the quarters. They haven't been that good. They scraped past Atalanta. They haven't been superb by any stretch of the imagination. Liverpool the same. The last 2 seasons they've been elite in this competition, but they've also been on a bit of a rough patch as well, and they haven't been, you know, setting the world alight. They look highly unlikely to even qualify for the top 4. So it really puts it again into perspective how poor Liverpool have been. So I think Real Madrid will edge it, but again, it's going to be a very tight affair. It could go either way in my personal opinion, but I think Real Madrid are going to edge it. But to answer your question, I'll put Chelsea as dark horses to win the Champions League. And yes, we can win the Champions League and we can go to Istanbul. Istanbul, bring it on. Bring it on. But let's get into the preview for the Chelsea versus Sheffield United game, the FA Cup quarter-final. Fantastic opportunity to get into the semi-finals of the FA Cup for Thomas Tuchel. And let's summarise Thomas Tuchel's press conference that he had against Sheffield United. And summarise his press conference. Thomas Tuchel says it's possible for Chelsea to win the FA Cup and Champions League, but they have to go game-by-game performance. Attitude and mentality is key. Thomas Tuchel says he's impressed by the club, its structure and support since he arrived following the impressive unbeaten start. Thomas Tuchel says Olivier Giroud is really important for him at Chelsea. He has been very unlucky in the recent weeks. Thomas Tuchel says if Chelsea want special results, they need a special atmosphere. Thomas Tuchel says Thiago Silva is 100% part of the team and he is a very emotional guy. He also adds that Mason, Jorginho and Thiago Silva were very involved in the group, which makes it very special. He says that he's very happy with Timo Werner, Kai Havertz and Hakim Ziyech following their performance against Atletico Madrid. Thomas Tuchel says Chelsea have been worried about their lack of composure in the first 13 games, but he was never concerned about the work rate and intensity. Thomas Tuchel says Chelsea are very solid and brave and are confident in their physical input. He makes the Blues very self-confident and he gives them strength and belief. Thomas Tuchel says many will make them the favourites against Porto in the Champions League, but he insists that that will not help Chelsea. But he believes the Blues are self-confident. And listen, as I said, that is summarising Thomas Tuchel's press conference. Unfortunately, Thiago Silva and Tammy Abraham are still unavailable for selection. They will be returning after international breaks. That is the injury team news. Jorginho, however, does have a slight knock, so he will be probably ruled out against Sheffield tomorrow. So he won't be going to Italy for the national team. So he gets a good 2 weeks to recover, which is great news for Chelsea. Timo Werner, Kai Havertz and Antonio Rudiger will also not be participating in the international break. They will also be resting and training at Chelsea, which is beautiful news for Chelsea fans to hear. Now, getting into predicted lineup, again, there's going to be a lot of rotation. It's not the Premier League, it's not the Champions League. Even though it's a quarter-final league, it is against weak opposition in Sheffield. And so it's not going to be 2 weekends, but there is going to be some changes to the lineup. Now, Sheffield United, we know, bottom of the Premier League, they look destined to be relegated. They sacked Chris Wilder, their manager, only recently, about a week ago. And they got battered by Leicester City 5-0 just last week. So they are on some rugged form, some really, really poor form, which is fantastic in favour of Chelsea. It gives us a massive advantage. And I'm going to go for a 3-4-2-1, same formation. I'm going to stick with that formation. Kepa in goal. I'm going to be replacing Mendy in goal, get him some game time. His last time in goal was against Newcastle, putting a fantastic shift. Kepa deserves to play. I'm going for Emerson, left centre-back. I'm going to go for Kurt Zouma and Azpilicueta as the three centre-backs. I'm going to go for Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ben Chilwell as the wing-backs. I'm then going to go for Billy Gilmour, Mateo Kovacic as the pivot. And then the front three, I'm going to go for Christian Pulisic, Mason Mount and Olivier Giroud to complete the lineup. That is my predicted lineup for the Sheffield United FA Cup quarter-final. But if you did enjoy this, feel free to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your score prediction in the comment section below. I'm going for a 3-0 Chelsea victory. Yes, another clean sheet. Thomas Tuchel's tank engine army keeps marching on. Long may it continue. But that is me wrapping up the video. I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.